Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. All right, thank you, Mr. Producer. All right, guys, I got a great guest coming up here. I'm really psyched because this is a guest that isn't afraid to stand up for what she believes, and she turned her passion, which I'll ask her about when I get her up. I'm taking a second here just because I'm figuring out. I don't know too much about what it's called to be a pagan, so that was why I was kind of not direct with you guys. But Shari Yetto is in the Buckle of the Bible Belt in Jackson, Tennessee, and she's the owner of Charlotte's Mystical Web. And by the way, that's a metaphysical shop. I mean, she's got candles, herbs, crystals, essential oils, jewelry. She makes all natural soaps, lotions, and she's also a best-selling author. Okay, she wrote 2 books, Wicca for the Wise Witch and Things Pagans Should Know. Her and her husband make live edge wood altars and more. So I don't know too much about what it means to be a pagan, and we all know that you've heard different stereotypes, but we're going to get some education today, I'm just really impressed by Shari, who stood up, and there can be some closed-minded people. I'm just saying, okay, where people think that their religion is the best and there's no other, and I'm sure that led to a lot of challenges, and we're going to learn about all that today with an open mind, just like Shari has, So I'm pretty psyched. If you guys have a question, 631-730-7376, or just use the instant feedback chat type thing. Just give me your question. I'll ask Shari live on the air, so you get your question answered by an expert, and you can be part of the show in that way. So, guys, no further ado. It's my honor and privilege to bring to the program Shari Yetto. Shari, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you today, Casey?
Well, I was, my intro didn't flow very well just because, I there's a lot of questions that I have, and I didn't know how really to tell the audience about it. But you really stood up for what you believe here.
Oh, I've been doing that for a lot of years. So many people are afraid, because of their jobs and different things like that, And yes, it's supposed to be freedom of religion, freedom of all sorts of things in this country. But there are still those that discriminate.
Right.
Whether it's religion, your way of life, whatever it is, and technically what you do in your personal life, as long as you're not harming anyone else. That's very important to add in there.
Yes.
It should be your own business.
Right. And
what my neighbor does is their business. As long as they're not, encroaching on me,
exactly.
It's just not my business.
Right. But we have that stigma because people don't really know what pagan means. What does that mean?
Right. All right. The word pagan actually comes from the Latin word paganus or pagani, which meant country dweller or outsider. So It was the ones that did not live in the king's kingdom. They weren't the rich people. They were the people like all of us, normal, everyday people.
Yep.
Except, it was like your farmers, okay? So they lived off the land, and they learned how to heal with herbs and the oils from those herbs, which is what we refer to as essential oils.
Mm-hmm. And that's so amazing because why do people think that a pagan means something like, I don't know, like...
Witch.
Yeah, but that's not a bad term either, right?
It's not. The word witch actually translates to wise one. Once again, it's the people that know how to heal with herbs and different things, like that. And the other part of that is because they worship the old gods.
What is the old gods?
Well, the old gods, date all the way back to the Sumerians. So whether you're talking about Inanna or you're talking about the Greek, which is Zeus and all of those, or the Egyptians, or whichever one. Okay, they were all there before Christianity ever existed. Christianity is only 2,000 years old. Our Earth is a lot older than that.
Right.
It's like the first commandment in the Bible says, you should put no other gods before me. That tells you that there's more than just him.
Right.
I mean, it's right there. It tells you. So, he just wants, within that religion, he wants to be the only one. And it's the same with everything, So, except with us, we accept everybody. Because if it feels right to you, then it's right for you. It doesn't have to be right for me.
Right. Everyone's different. Everyone's is entitled to, as you said, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else, you do it. You're supposed to be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, I don't think what Satanists do, for the most part, is okay, because, they go out and kill things.
That's
not
not
all
good.
of them.
No, we don't agree with
all
that.
But, they now some of them just worship self and ego, which, is kind of narcissistic, so I still have I have issues with anything that is considered dark magic.
What is dark magic? What is that?
Dark magic is anything that controls or manipulates another or goes against their free will.
Okay. So, all right. So that's what you were saying. So it affects someone else in a way that you
right.
wouldn't. So, okay.
All right. For instance, let's just say I actually knew you personally, okay, and I wasn't married, but you were with somebody, and maybe we had talked in the past, but I think you need to be with me, not her. So I'll try to work a spell to make you come to me.
Oh,
that's
wow.
black magic. Okay.
Oh.
Black magic, negative magic, whatever word you want to put to it, because I'm trying to control you and go against your free will, and that's wrong.
Gotcha. Okay. And does that happen a lot in today? I mean, it does.
I have people, and most of them are not pagan, okay, that come into my store every day with the story of, well, now he's over there with her, but I know he's supposed to be with me.
Oh.
So I need something to help make him come to me, and I tell them no.
Right.
Because I won't help people do that.
And
if you walk in my store, if you walk in my store and you know what you're doing and you just buy stuff and you don't ask my opinion, then I tell you what you want to buy.
Right.
But if you're asking my opinion, I won't help you do something that's wrong. I will tell you how to attract your true soulmate, the person you're supposed to be with.
That's so cool.
That's
awesome.
That's okay. It's okay to attract the right person to you, but you still state, and it harm none, because they might be in a wrong relationship right now, and you don't want the person to die.
Right.
For them to be free. You want them to realize they don't belong together.
Mm-hmm. That's
there's just right and wrong ways to do things.
I love it, Chari. You're so interesting. How did you get into this? I mean, let me just start with that question. How did you get into this?
Well, I guess as a small child, I got disillusioned with the church.
You grew up in the Bible Belt. I went to Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, so I'm right in there.
Yeah. Well, I had my first stepfather in my life when I was real little. He was what you call a part-time Baptist preacher.
Uh-oh.
And I remember like it was yesterday. I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old, but I still remember it. And he was up there preaching the hellfire and brimstone stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't dance, you don't drink, you don't all this stuff. And I happened to have known that him and my mother had gone out the night before. Because I turned and looked at her and I said, "Didn't y'all?" She said, "Be quiet or you'll get us killed." And it wasn't from the people, it was him.
Oh, my God.
So I'm sitting here going, this is, he's lying.
Yeah.
So that disillusioned me a lot. But I remembered every year sitting in front of the TV when The Wizard of Oz and Cinderella and all this stuff would come on. That's, because I was born in 1961, okay? So there wasn't a lot of other stuff around back then.
Okay.
But I remember going, something about that seems right. I mean, I know there was a lot of Hollywood in there, but something about it felt right and drew me. And I assume it's from past lives or something, that it was just trying to show me there was something else. Keep searching.
Right.
And so I did. And, of course, like I said, we didn't have internet, very few books or anything else when I was growing up. And so I just kind of searched for whatever I could and I was probably around 18 when I met somebody that taught me about burning the 7-day prayer candles.
What's that?
Catholics use them and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a Catholic thing?
Yeah, well, they're Catholics do burn some of them, the saint candles and stuff like that. But there's others. There's money drawing and love drawing and go away evil, and there's all sorts of different ones. They're just called 7-day prayer candles, and I even make my own now.
Yeah, that's right. You make them at the shop.
I do, and I put the oils and herbs and charge them for the purpose. So it's not just some colored wax poured into a candle. And I teach people the right ways to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so, I love that you show that integrity, and that's why in the beginning I wasn't very very clear, because I kind of knew that about you, but yet if you're not one of the top popular religions, you get the stigma of being
evil.
Yes.
Satan worshiper, all of that kind of stuff.
All that. You've had it your whole life, I'm sure.
But and the thing is, I'm going to say probably at least 70% of my customers are actually Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Because they come in for the help that they're not getting somewhere else.
Okay.
To me, everybody is the same. I treat everybody the same. My goal and my job is to help them to get their life on the right path. And I do what I can to keep them from going down a wrong path. Is going to create bad karma and stuff like that. I don't work spells for people because that's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it bad enough, you're going to put your energies in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you how to do it. I'll tell you the stuff to do it with, but I'm not going to do it for you.
Right.
And there's so many fake people out there. They claim that send me $200 and I'll work this spell for you, or these fake readers that everybody stepped off in some hex or curse in a past life, and you got to pay me all this money to go fix it for you. Well, you can't fix somebody's past life.
Their
karma
is
is their karma, and that's just all it is to it.
Yeah. Yeah,
so all they're doing is ripping people off.
Yep, and that's pretty awesome. That you will treat everyone the same, and you will do. You said something before. I don't know exactly what the phrase was, but it was like "do no harm" or something.
Well, yeah, everything is do no harm. Some people say, "Oh, that's just a Wiccan thing." But no, it's, if it harms none, do what you will.
There you go.
And there's some that don't believe in karma. That's just a Wiccan thing. No, that's just a worldly thing, period. Whatever you do, good or bad, is coming back on you.
Yeah. Wow.
That's just, it just is. You can say you don't believe in it all you want, but it's going to happen.
That's the truth.
It's like, if you go out and rob a bank, you may get away with it for a little bit, but eventually you will get caught.
Yes.
So there's karma.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, I'm speaking with Shari Yetto. Shari, can you tell us, because we got to take a short break. You got people that have questions for you, and I want to get more into what you got at the shop and the services that you provide and all that. But we got to take a break. Before the break, can you tell people how to get a hold of you and how to get more information?
Sure. You can call me at 731-265-4269. You can locate Charlotte's Mystical Web on Facebook, and I have a website, which is charlottesmysticalweb.net.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll be right back on the Shari Yetto Show, so stay right there.
Parallels Desktop, the #1 choice of Mac users to run Windows on Mac. Windows applications run effortlessly. Parallels Desktop is seamless and fast. Whether you need to run a Windows program, develop or test, game, or just looking for the ultimate flexibility without having to restart, you're completely covered with Parallels Desktop for Mac. Fast, powerful, and easy.
Hi there. This is Carl Dismukes with Coastal Stage Designs in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida. Join me on my podcast as we talk about the home staging industry and how I can help you to sell faster for more money with style. My website is coastalstagedesigns.com, where you can get more information, see some examples of our work, and contact me. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Socks are the #1 most requested item in homeless shelters. Underwear is the second, shirts are third. At Bombas, socks were first. made with comfortable details for everyday wearing. Then underwear and shirts too, all designed to perfectly fit. At Bombas, every item you purchase means you're donating an essential clothing item to someone in need. One comfortable clothing item for you, one donated to someone in need. Bombas, comfort for all. Get 20% off your purchase at bombas.com/comfy.
Hi, I'm Sherry Yetto, also known as Lady Starfire. For over 32 years, I've owned Charlotte's Mystical Web, your one-stop shop metaphysical spiritual store, now in Jackson, Tennessee. I handcraft products, authored Wicked for the Wise Witch and Things Pagans Should Know. I'm a third-degree high priestess and clergy. Paul and I also make live edge altars, spirit boards, and take special orders and ship anywhere. We're on Facebook at charlottesmysticalweb.net or call 731-265-4269.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Alrighty, thank you, Mr. Producer. We're back on the Shari Yetto Show. Welcome back, Miss Shari.
Well, thank you.
Shari, tell us more about the metaphysical shop and who's a good candidate to experience this.
Oh, anyone and everyone.
You said like 70% of Christians, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. No, I have something for everybody because, like I said, I've got an array of gemstones and crystals, jewelry, sterling silver rings and pendants and chains and all that stuff. All kinds of candles, all kinds of essential oils, incense. I make powdered incense. So I can make that in any scent somebody wants in just a matter of a couple of minutes. And then I have my all natural products, which are, good for everybody. Mm-hmm. People love my soaps and salves and things that I make. And my prices are reasonable. They're not like a lot of them where they mark things up 4, 5, 6, 10 times. People ask me sometimes why I don't have sales, and I said, well, you have a choice. I can mark myself up like everybody else does, so I can give you a sale once or twice a year, or I can give you a good price every day.
and that's a great point because it leads me. There's somebody that wrote in and asked you how do you spot the fakes. Can you tell us your answer to that?
Yes, the fakes are really easy. For one, if it's these psychic readers that have the big neon signs, 9 times out of 10 they're a fake. A lot of these that you call in. Every once in a great while, you might get a real one. A lot of them follow scripts. Mm-hmm. Because most who call in have the same issues, so they just follow the script. Mm-hmm. But one of the easiest ways to tell is if somebody is asking you for a lot of money, mm-hmm. if they are telling you just very generic, you've probably lost someone. Well, who hasn't? And so, and then the end result is they want you to buy something that, one, you're never going to see, mm-hmm. and it costs a lot of money, or they offer to work a spell for you and want to charge you a lot of money. First, they offer to work a spell for you, but also if they're going to charge you several hundred or thousands of dollars. And because I get people in my store all the time that have gotten taken by these people. Yeah. That's why I know they exist.
Right.
And the stories are all exactly the same. So they all use the same storylines. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so if any of those situations come up, best thing to do, save your money, don't give them your phone number, and run.
Right. Yeah. It makes sense. Is that what some people call psychic self-defense?
Well, psychic self-defense is really a different type of thing.
Oh, tell me about it. What is that then?
All right. Well, anytime, anybody can actually send you negative or positive energies. Okay. So psychic self-defense is one of those things where you defend yourself against that. Wish magic is just as strong as any other. So if someone's over here, that doesn't like you, so they're wishing that you fail, and they just keep sending that negative energy to you, you start getting bogged down and you start failing. Okay, so that's a psychic attack. Oh. So psychic self-defense is taking steps to guard against that, whether it's doing regular cleansings, putting seals and different things above your doors, black salt at your, doorstep, or different things, wearing protection oil. There's a lot of different ways to protect yourself from these. One of my favorites is also a mirror box.
What's that, a mirror box?
The mirrors face out on all sides, and you put inside there, your picture, your kids, your family, whoever you're wanting to protect, or put items, their fingernail, hair, anything that belongs to them, that would have their DNA inside that box. Then whatever somebody is shooting at you or wishing upon you, sending to you, is reflected back to them, no matter what direction it comes from.
Wow. Interesting. Now, you have written 2 very successful books, Wicca for the Wise Witch. Now, when we hear that title, can you explain to us what it's about, and when did you write this, and if they're still available, or where we can get them, on the site or Amazon? Where can we get them?
Yeah, no, you don't get them on Amazon. You can order them directly from me or on my website, and yes, both my books are still available.
Awesome.
Wicca for the Wise Witch was originally written in 2005, and that's still when Wicca was recognized as, the umbrella religion or whatever, and not satanic. Mm-hmm. It's really pagan. It's not specifically just for Wiccans, because there's some people go, well, I'm not Wiccan. Well, it's just information.
And
I wrote it largely for beginners. Excuse me?
It was like what you were telling us in the beginning. A lot has to do with nature. It has to do without. Yeah.
It's all earth-based religion. But I wrote it largely for beginners.
Okay.
So it's written to help you decipher through all the garbage out there.
Gotcha.
Because there's a whole lot of how-tos. There's not very many why-nots.
I like that. I like that sound. That's good.
So I have a whole lot of why-nots. There's chapters in there on cleansing, psychic self-defense, as we talked about, candles and the colors and what they mean, and just, how to set up an altar, and just all sorts of things in there.
Wow.
And then I'm working on a third one right now that it has to do with my classes that I teach.
Tell me about the classes.
Well, it's actually, it's a year and a day commitment. And due to COVID and stuff, it's a little harder to, kind of get together.
Yeah.
And so I decided to put it in book form. Plus, I'm not going to be around forever. And that way people will have the information to try to learn from.
Great idea.
But the classes teach you about, the way of life. It can be a degree system, but this one is going to be just the first year and a day to, get you through all the basics and, teach you how to walk this life.
And you and your husband, you make live edge wood altars. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, my husband has a mill, and he actually takes the logs, mills them down, and creates altars, spirit boards. He cuts all the bases for my statues that I make.
How cool.
He's made bathroom countertops, benches, tables, shelving, all sorts of things.
Wow, he's
and
talented.
It's all a live edge, so it's not that finished wood.
Okay.
Some of it still has the bark, or it's just with the bark off of it. It's just really beautiful.
Yeah, like back to nature.
Yes, exactly. and most things he tries his best to make it without any metal. Now, like the bench, he had to put a metal rod, for extra, support, so that somebody wouldn't fall. Mm-hmm. But most things he uses wooden dowels as opposed to metal.
Okay, and that third book. Excuse me. That third book that you're working on. When do you think that we'll be able to see that? How's it coming along?
Well, I actually just finally got it started this weekend, so I think I'm on the second chapter right now. Considering it's the classes I teach, it actually won't take as long to put together as one that you just got to think up to write, like a novel. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of taking my notes and actually putting it into all the words that I say when I actually teach classes.
Okay, I got you. Well, I got to tell you, it's such a treat to talk to you. I mean, there's so many questions I have here, but we are out of time now, and I'm sorry I didn't get to all these people that have questions for you, but I'll save them so I can ask you next time. But Shari Yetto, tell us any thoughts or anything you want us to end with or think about till next time, and then tell us how to get a hold of you one more time. Thank you for spending time with me. Really cool.
Oh, I enjoy it. You're awesome.
You too.
Yes. my two, favorite sayings. One is, if it harm none, do what you will. The other is, you are responsible for everything you think, say, and do. Thought is energy, energy is matter, and matter goes out and hits whatever you're directing it at. So be careful of what you think when you're driving down the road with that road rage. So now, to reach me, you can come by my store at 964 South Highland in Jackson, Tennessee. Call me at 731-265-4269. You can find me on Facebook under Charlotte's Mystical Web. I have, it has its own page. And you can go to my website, which is charlottesmysticalweb.net.
Awesome. Guys, that's the Shari Yetto Show. My thanks to Shari, everybody who wrote in, and we will be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.